So my prediction is that
Insane.
although this sounds crazy, we are headed into a world of basically streaming these transactions pretty much in near real time. What's been missing is all of the integration and the infrastructure required to do this. And now that we have both the regulatory compliance and the technology available to do it, we're starting to sort of accelerate towards that path.
So yesterday, Frank, he posted this post on X saying great work by the authors and contributors to the Faster Payments Digital Asset Work Group on the imperative of digital identity for financial institutions. It came from this post right here, which had an article in it, right? Huh. And this article basically, uh, just in a nutshell, had some really important people as the authors, right? And this went into biometric identity, a bunch of stuff that pretty much Metallicus is equipped with right now, although it didn't mention Metallicus's name in this article. But Frank Mazza is one of the authors of this article, and I can share this article. You guys can read it. Basically, it just talks about blockchain and, how verifying identity is a much better way to do it using blockchain. Kind of goes into details about, again, biometrics with the thumbprint or the facial features. And again, this is all stuff that Metallicus is already equipped with right now with like the WebAuth wallet, for example, right? What I really wanted to show you guys though was how important these authors and other members are of this board of the US Faster Payments Council. Um, because we have some big names down here. So you got BNY, Mellon, right? Of course, Metallicus, there goes Frank Mazza right there. American Express, Nacha, US Bank. Um, and then when I came over here and I clicked, what did I end up clicking? I think it was one of these links. This link came up, right? And this is the actual leadership team of this US Faster Payments Council. And as I was looking at the board of directors and reading these names, I was like, these are some pretty big names. As you can see, MasterCard, Jack Henry, Walmart, Netflix, Home Depot, Visa, right? And you got Frank Mazza here side by side, all these really, really important people, Experian. Let's see here. And there goes Frank Mazza right there, right? And then there goes Ripple, right? James Selleck. I don't know who this guy is, but he's representing Ripple and he's part of the board members over here as well. And that's where I was like, huh, I wonder, okay, so if he's part of Ripple, is XRP part of this as well, or like how does that work, right? But separate conversation. More important names, Goldman Sachs, First Bank. So some really important people over here, right? And JP Morgan. And again, to have Frank Mazza here representing Metallicus side by side, all of these important people, I could only imagine what type of closed door meetings are being had and what they're talking about, right? Because this entire article was about blockchain. And really, the only blockchain company on here, technically, right, is Metallicus. I don't know if Ripple can say they are a blockchain company. I think they're a fintech company, right? They're not necessarily Web3. Um, so yeah, I wanted to share that with you guys. That was something that came up yesterday. And I got one more thing actually to share, but I'll let Cypress chime in. I think he has something to say here. So go ahead, bro.
Dude, no, you just nailed it on the head when you were saying the closed door meetings that take place. I'm like, you're reading all these names like Netflix, Home Depot, Walmart, and I'm like, dude, there's no way that they haven't all these people been in a room together and congregated to get to know each other and communicated on the future of finance at least once. And so,
51,000.
the Ripple maxis and the XRP maxis, which mind you, again, I'm not necessarily a Ripple or XRP maxi. I have full faith in the XRP's price appreciation in the future, like 2030 and beyond type shit. But dude, they would freaking make hella bullish price predictions and content just by seeing a Ripple member on this board list, but completely skip over that Metallicus is sitting side by side.
Hmm.
So it just makes no sense to me. It's like they'll if you showed this to an XRP maxi, they'd be like, "Oh, XRP to $1,000," but then they'd be like, "Metallicus is a scam."
Yeah, yeah, it makes zero sense, bro. And then, as you were speaking right now, my memory started coming. And I don't know if you guys remember, but it was one of my Thursday Zoom calls. I had shared a snippet of Will Claver talking about um, how streaming can be done on XPR network, streaming videos, streaming live events, and how basically it'll be like, pay for whatever you're really watching. Right now, it's a free for all. You can just watch whatever and people can stream from wherever, but it's not being recorded necessarily anywhere. Putting all streaming services on XPR network, for example, and somebody who says, "Hey, I only want to watch this portion of the fight," or "Hey, I want Netflix, right? But I don't watch it every day. Maybe I only watch it a couple hours a month." Well, now it's pay to use, and you're only going to pay for that fraction of amount of time that you're technically using because it's on chain and the proof is there. So, I'm recollecting that conversation, and I shared it on a Zoom call. And again, Frank Mazza is on the board of directors right next to Netflix. You got Netflix right here. So I can see Netflix totally going that route because things just get more and more competitive. So yeah,
Bro, you tripping me out with what you just said. I'm about to send you a video right now to play to show that you're not crazy. You remember Paul Brody, right? The dams have
yeah.
opened the floodgates, right?
Hmm.
Bro, I'm
Hmm.
gonna send you this video right now. Exactly what you just said. Paul Brody was on a panel just the other day ago. Like literally, Break Free shared this like a couple days ago, and word for word, exactly what you just said. Paul Brody says that that's the transformation that's happening, where it's not going to be, you pay for things once a month or via a monthly subscription anymore. You pay as you utilize whatever it is, whether it's your electricity bill, your water bill, your cable bill, your internet bill. You only pay in micro amounts for the amount of usage that you use, and
Dang.
blockchain
Oh
unlocks that.
yeah,
Dude, I'm
that was
telling you,
incredible.
yeah, did you watch that? Whoever just said that, who was
I
that?
did. Yep, that was me. Yeah, I
Did you
watched
watch
that.
that?
That entire thing was incredible.
Hold on. Aqua, I'm sending it in the chat real quick. Just let me,
Yeah, send it. Dude, we
uh,
are so tapped in. It's not even funny.
I'm
That's
sending
wild.
it. I'm actually gonna send it to your text messages because I'm on my phone right now.
Okay, yeah.
Man, Cypress, when I watched that, it made me I had this feeling come over me of I don't know, like it's hard to explain. It's like excitement and euphoria because one is like the euphoria of being in the space where we understand this technology and knowing that this is what's coming, right? And I don't know if anybody else has had this a similar situation where for me, when I first got into crypto, it was all about the money, right? It was like, oh, I'm going to make money from this. But now, understanding what this technology is going to do, I'm more excited about the applications in which this is going to make my life easier versus like the money is going to always be great. But now I'm excited about the actual use case and the utility behind these technologies. Like this is incredible.
Yo, the video clip is actually 5 minutes and 30 seconds, but the 2 minute and 30-second clip just now, my annotation is still good too, because Paul Brody here, he talks about how, you know, banking and crypto are pretty much being integrated into one infrastructure and they're not going to be separate, which is still good confirmation, but we can skip that for the sake of the length of the video. It's the clip where he's talking about micropayments and how we're going to transition this. The financial transformation is not what everybody thinks. It's actually just a transformation of micropayments where we're going to be able to pay for things with micro amounts of money, fractions of pennies if we need to on a day-to-day basis. It's 5 minutes and 30 seconds.
5 minutes and 30 seconds? Okay.
Mhm.
My son actually buys like analog albums. He's like, Dad, do we have a record player? I'm like, that was thrown out a long time ago. Um, and then we bought whole CDs. And at a certain point, it got cheap enough and easy enough that we started buying and downloading or stealing and downloading individual tracks, right? And eventually we just gave up and we went to streaming. We don't even stream a whole song anymore. We stream like tiny bits of a song. And the argument I want to make is that this is what is going to happen to money, right? Once upon a time, we got paid every 2 weeks and we got bills monthly and we paid our mortgages or our rent monthly. I believe we're slowly going to go away from that. And what's driving that is this transition that blockchain is making affordable and possible. We are in the middle of a payments transition from things that cost dollars and took days towards that things that basically cost under a penny and take less than a second. And once making payments is essentially free, the idea that you would change how you run your business, especially at a global level,
Bro,
starts
pause it, pause it. And whose blockchain is free?
Exactly. XPR network all
Keep
day.
rolling. Keep rolling it.
idea of like, why would I wait a whole month or why would I keep big piles of money everywhere just in case becomes unnecessary. And I think what we're headed towards, for example, at the enterprise level, is a completely different way of managing your treasury. So today we have global treasuries, but they don't keep a lot of money. Where you keep the money is in the individual operating countries. But if payments are free and instantaneous, you're going to have a big global treasury that's centralized and aggressively managed for yield. And then you're going to have little small bank accounts in other countries that just keep the minimum amount of money necessary, right? So if you pay your workers on Friday, then a Thursday night at 11:59 p.m., you're going to send the money for that, anything that's needed, right? But basically, the whole process is going to shift from big chunks of money to tiny amounts streaming over time. And the result of that is going to be kind of a just-in-time payments and financial system. And it's not just how companies are going to manage their treasuries. I believe it's also going to affect how basically enterprises and consumers interact with each other. And I'll give you just two very specific examples. It's pretty common in the US and Europe that companies have incentives not to use energy during peak time periods. The problem with these incentives is they're not very powerful. Like if you want to run your dishwasher tonight, right. Okay. Yes, it's going to cost you 25 cents more in electricity, but the problem is like your electric bill is not coming for 30 days. On the other hand, if you're paying your electric bill every night for the electricity you consume today, a savings incentive that's valid today and pays out today, it's much more effective. And the same thing turns out to be true with working. You work on an hourly basis, you're a gig worker, you drive an Uber, you deliver packages, right? The incentive to do another package, do another delivery, take another ride, it's much more effective if you're getting paid today for work you did today. And in fact, we have data from social research scientists that basically says incentives like these are 100 to 300% more effective when the payout is the same day than when it is 30 or 60 days away, right? And by the way, if you're an enterprise and you have your electric bill or the gas company or the phone company, today you extending your customers 30 days of credit every month. Why? Why not charge them every night? You have the data system. It's not like the old days where people didn't know how much they consumed. They know now. So you can charge them literally every single night for any kind of incremental product or service that they use. And you can pay them. You can do daily payroll. So my prediction is that although this sounds crazy, we are headed into a world of basically streaming these transactions pretty much in near real time. What's been missing is all of the integration and the infrastructure required to do this. And now that we have both the regulatory compliance and the technology available to do it, we're starting to sort of accelerate towards that path. And that is kind of my expectation, right? We are at the beginning of this acceleration phase. And if you go back to the story about music, so it took quite a while into the digital age for music to
Bro, look at what this
fucking
look at what a
and from
slide
a
says.
download to a streaming model. And I think we're in the same phase.
Wait, what'd you say right now?
Look at what his slide says. It literally says, start planning now. The future is going to come faster and harder than you expect.
Yeah, bro, he's saying something powerful. Should I let this thing finish? It's got
Nah,
like,
he's pretty much said what needs to be said. He was just talking about exactly what you mentioned. Like, come on, it ain't coincidence. He's talking about gas-free blockchain mechanisms that are going to allow people to pretty much earn every single day micro amounts of money. And imagine you're getting paid every single day. What you can do with that money that you're making, you can put it to work every single day and earn and generate passive rewards on it and grow your wealth, bro. The future is going to be nuts. And I 100% think that there's no coincidence as to why Metallicus, the likes of Ripple, are sitting on a leadership board with the Federal Reserve, with Netflix and Walmart, and
Yeah,
freaking the major freaking consumerism brands in America. That's not by accident, bro.
yeah, yeah. Dang. Yeah, this all aligns though. And then, I'll finish it off because I know you have some stuff to share. So this actually was announced April 14th, 2025. Basically, nobody really spoke on this, but Valera, who is was announced, I believe, in August or September. I forget exactly what month, but Valera and Metallicus are partners as well. And yeah, Valera's partners with Zelle. So I just wanted to point that out. You know what I mean? That we're right where we need to be with our understanding of Metallicus, and there's too many things that we have shared week by week, month by month now, that it kind of puts Metallicus in the inevitable. So that's not financial advice, though, of course, right? But yeah,
And pretty much every major bank and financial institution is integrated with Zelle, so no big deal.
yeah, 100%, bro. They say that if you don't have Zelle as a financial institution right now, that you're losing money because that member will go somewhere else to use Zelle. So it says it here in this. I can share this with everybody. You guys can read it. I don't want to bore you guys with reading stuff that's kind of irrelevant, but you guys can read it because, yeah, not my words or my opinion. It's from these guys. So, what's up, D'Angelo?
There was one other guy that said the exact same thing, bro. And it was that LinkedIn. I think it was John Ungerland. He was saying something along the lines of if they don't meet these specific standards, you're basically losing out money. And he was saying that in relation to the community banks. Crazy, crazy connection.
Bro, and that Paul Brody too with us accelerating right now, that aligns perfectly with Marshall Hayner's prediction. So, just saying. And it goes hand in hand with what you know about the markets and what you've been saying as well, Cypress. So,
Bro, perfect transition, honest to God. Yeah, man, I think that there is a massive misalignment right now amongst what is actually happening in the market and what people are expecting, what is being said amongst influencers that, in my personal opinion, honest to God, guys and gals, just after what I'm going to show you right now, I have a firm belief that 99% of high-end big follow channel influencers on the internet actually have no idea what they're talking about.